Good evening. We often assume that signing a contract is a straightforward process. But is that always the case? What if someone isn't legally allowed to? Tonight, we are going to explore a simple question, that is, can minors sign contract legally? Over to our field reporters for some insights.
Thanks, Sharanya. We hear the term minor all the time. But what does it really mean in legal terms? Generally, anyone under 18 is considered a minor and might not have full rights to sign a contract. But is it really that simple? In simple terms, Section 11 states that to enter into a valid contract, a person must be of legal age, mentally sound, and not legally restricted from contracting. Since minors are under 18, they don't meet this requirement. The Indian Majority Act 1875 confirms that a person legally becomes an adult when they turn 18. From that moment, they gain the right to enter into contracts on their own. Further, the landmark case of Mohri Bibi versus Dharmodas Ghosh in Indian contract law established that contracts with minors are absolutely void, meaning they have no legal standing from the start. Even if both parties agree, the law won't recognize this contract. Imagine a teenager, eyes gleaming with excitement, poised to sign the finance papers for their dream motorbike. Yet, the shopkeeper hesitates, unsure if youth alone can guarantee responsibility. Now, this might seem like a normal transaction, but legally, things aren't as clear-cut. Let's look at when a minor's signature actually holds weight.
That's an interesting point. While most contracts with minors do not stand in court, there are situations where they do. Think about the essentials: food, clothing, shelter. It might be treated differently.
In Chappell vs. Ann Cooper, the court explained that necessities include anything a person needs to live reasonably. This means that while a minor can't buy a luxury item on credit, they can purchase essential supplies. Section 68 protects businesses that provide necessities to minors. If a minor receives essentials, the person or company providing them can be reimbursed, but only from the minor's existing property, not by forcing them into a legal contract.
Imagine a minor calmly picking up groceries, placing them on the counter, and handing over the payment. The cashier processes the transaction without hesitation, treating it as just another routine purchase.
Here, no one's questioning whether a minor should be allowed to pay. But is this the case with all agreements that benefit a minor? Let's dig deep.
That's a good question, Tanya. There are some cases where a contract might be upheld because it directly helps the minor, like an apprenticeship or a sports training program. But does that mean all such agreements are automatically valid?
Some contracts are allowed if they directly benefit the minor. For example, apprenticeship, marriage, and partnership contracts. If they help the minor gain skills or financial independence, they may be legally binding. Under Indian law, apprenticeship agreements are treated differently. If a training program benefits a minor by providing skills for future employment, the contract may be upheld in the court. The rules around marriage contracts may vary. Some countries avoid such contracts entirely, while others permit them with parental approval. In India, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 makes child marriages illegal even if a contract is involved. Minors can't fully enter into a business partnership, but they can receive profits from a partnership. However, they are not responsible for business debts.
Imagine a young athlete standing beside their couch, eyes scanning the contract that could shape their future. Their parents nod in approval, trusting the path being laid out before them. Here, the arrangement seems fair and in the best interest of the minor. But not every contract signed by someone under 18 will get this kind of approval. What happens if someone isn't honest about their age? Over to Tanya for more on that.
That's where things get complicated. I mean, suppose if a minor misrepresents their age and enters into a contract, should they still be allowed to walk away without any consequences? Because on one hand, you want to protect minors from being taken advantage of, and on the other, you do not want to reward any dishonest behavior. What do you think? Should minors be held accountable for the contracts they enter into illegally?
Imagine a minor confidently signing a loan agreement, believing everything is in order. Later, when questioned about their age, worry creeps onto their face as doubt sets in.
The doctrine of restitution says that even if a minor lies about their age to sign a contract, the law won't enforce it. However, if they receive goods or money, they might have to return them. Leslie vs. Shire laid down the same principle, discouraging minors from entering into a contract. Also, in certain situations, Section 33 of the Specific Reliefs Act allows court to require minors to compensate for financial losses, even if they couldn't legally sign a contract. Even if deception is involved, most legal systems still won't enforce the contract. But the minor might be required to return whatever they have received. So, it's not always as simple as tearing away the contract and walking away.
So, what happens to these contracts once the minor is no longer a minor?
Well, they do have a choice. If they feel that the contract serves them well, they might decide to continue with it.
Or they might choose to step away completely since contract wasn't legal when they first signed it.
Either way, turning 18 changes the rule. They now have the full legal capacity to decide. Once a contract is declared void, it stays the way, even if the person turns 18 and wants to uphold it. The only way to make it valid is to create a new agreement after reaching adulthood. Suraj Narain vs. Sukhu Ahir reinforced that a contract signed as a minor remains invalid forever. It can't be fixed even after turning 18.
So, what does this all mean? While minors can sign contracts, the law often steps in to protect them. Most contracts won't hold up unless it involves necessities or directly benefit the minor.
But that doesn't mean there are no consequences. Even if the contract is void, they might still have to return what they received. After they turn 18, they face a choice: either accept the contract or walk away from it entirely.
So, the key takeaways: signing a contract isn't just about putting pen to paper. It's about understanding your rights, your responsibilities, and your legal limits, no matter your age.
So before you sign, think twice, because in the world of contracts, age isn't just a number. It's the difference between a deal and a dispute.